Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of the SHIRO Show. This is going to be a special SHIRO Show today. Dave is not here with us today. He is out doing stuff in California, as Dave typically does because he lives there. But today, as you can see, we have something very special we're doing today. You all know that I've talked about vinyl and stuff for the longest time. And I always like talk about and bring it up, and it's been the whole thing with me coming showing my jazz. But today I am doing a concept that I have been wanting to do for a while, but could never figure out how to pull it off and the best format to pull it off. But today I think I have figured that out. So today we are going to be looking at probably about 10 or 12 different records that are basically Saturn on vinyl. So Sega Saturn soundtracks, or Saturn-esque on vinyl. So I might cheat a little bit. We'll have some little bonuses in between. This is definitely going to be demonetized as soon as I play anything. So yeah, there's that. So it's a lot of excitement. Got a little chat going here for all those watching. Listening, I think we're going to turn this into an actual podcast episode, like Pat's Music Picks or Pat's Music Saturn on Vinyl. We'll figure out a title. Show Vinyl Time. But behind me, I have my beautiful MoFi Studio Deck turntable with a MoFi Studio Tracker cartridge. It's a really great turntable I've been using. I've taken pictures and posted in the chat before, so hopefully you've guys seen that and you guys know what that's all about and what's going on. So I guess we're gonna kick right into it because we got a lot of stuff. This is probably gonna kick into the gameplay portion, and sadly we have to get rid of Discord today because of the way that I set this up. So I apologize for the Discord people. Next time, I promise. But anyways, why don't we start off first by our first music pick, which, if you can see behind us and very faint, is Panzer Dragoon on vinyl by Data Disc. So I'll show everyone off this. If you're listening, just pretend I'm holding up a copy of it. Go Google it, Data Disc Panzer Dragoon. But there's actually an interesting story behind this this disc. So I was at a convention at a Game On Expo. I think it's 17 or 18 I was at. Sorry. And I found this just laying on there with a bunch of other records. And I was like, oh, cool, this is the special edition. It's like, why are you getting rid of this? Like, wasn't really a fan of the soundtrack, so I think I bought it for like $20 or something, or like 15, whatever he had it as. It was open up, but it was beautiful, as you could see. There's no really issues with it. This is by Data Discs, which is a pretty famous video game vinyl format releasing group. They have, I think, about over 30 right now releases. I think this is, what number is this? Number 8. So it's the 8th one they released. I think it's probably one of the first Saturn on vinyl stuff, because they have there was other titles such as before, like a dated Streets of Rage, Shenmue, Shinobi, and etc. So they usually do Sega-based stuff, but they sometimes branch out to Neo Geo and other cool things. This one is really cool because it has it came with a picture of the Panzer Dragoon guy. I'm sorry, Panzer Dragoon fans. I don't know all the. Azil, is that the name of the guy? Azil, or I'm sorry. It came with this cool poster you can hang up on your wall. Show your friends all of it and tell them that you love Panzer Dragoons. But yeah, it's really cool little sleeve. My only complaint with it is that it's one of those big inners, and it's a 2-disc set back there. So the actual soundtrack is actually cut at 45 RPM. So theoretically should be a little bit of higher quality recording of it. That's theoretically, of course. I mean, it's a digital recording onto a analog format, so it's as good as it can get. But essentially, which means 45, that it'll spin at the 45 speed. So if you put this on and running slow, then you know what happened. Data discs are usually really good with their quality discs. They have I'll put this down real quick and put it on the little sleeve right here. It should come in these polyline sleeves like this. This one I actually modified for the Mobile Fidelity archive sleeves, which, if you collect records, I recommend you do. This is sort of how I do it, is I put them inside of the polyline sleeve and put that inside of it, but these are fairly protected. They have the same material. I just kind of trust the MoFi ones a little bit better. So Yeah, definitely recommend picking that one up, and usually have good quality, unlike some of the other records we will probably show off today. Actually, I think most of them are good in terms of the outer sleeving, but why don't we spin the first track, which is going to be the opening title of it. Let me see the name of it. I can't remember off the top of my head. Oh shit, there goes the poster. That is on the ground. The first track is just the main theme, orchestral version. I don't know if they had an official name, so it's the orchestrated version of it. I don't know if I don't know played it too much. I can't remember if it did appear on the game or not, but you guys can let me know. You guys are bigger Panzer Dragoon fans than me, but this is actually one of my favorite tracks. So why don't we go spin that up and play it? Hopefully I get it on the first try. This is going to be edited, of course, so you won't hear my mess ups on the audio and video people. So let's go. I keep hitting that mic. And that was the main theme of Panzer Dragoon Saga by Yoshitaka Azuma. So let me go stop that real quick. Okay, there's a beautiful track by Yoshitaka Azuma. Really great soundtrack. I really enjoyed it. I think all really the people that worked on Panzer Dragoon Saga the Panzer Dragoon series were amazing composers. I know that's there's Yoshitaka Azuma and there's Sayori Kobayashi. I think that's how you say her name. Don't worry, she's going to be featured on this podcast for sure, so that's not a worry in that case. Alright, so moving on, we're going to talk about probably one of my favorite soundtracks on general, even more so than Saturn, is of course... You probably guessed that this is going to come up at some point. Might as well get out of the way. Snatcher, the famous game by game designer Hideo Kojima. This game basically you play as Gillian Seed, which is a junker on the back. You play as Gillian Seed, and you need to find your memory and stop the Snatchers from destroying the world. I guess maybe is that the best way to describe that game. But this one is actually by a record label. I guess full disclosure, I'm friends with a couple people there. Ship to Shore Phono Company. They're a fairly new label. I guess fairly new, but almost 10 years old at this point. I guess in regards to other labels that they are fairly new. But anyways, they went ahead and they're probably most well known for their Mother soundtrack. Their Kickstarter, they did a Kickstarter back in 15 or 14 for the Mother 1 and 2 soundtrack on vinyl to get the licensing for that and release that. That's in the other room. I didn't bring that because that's not on Saturn though. But yeah, they went ahead and originally licensed this. They teased this a little while afterwards, and it's been a long road, but it's finally released, luckily enough. So I think this came out in 16 or 17, I think. I can't remember. It's been 2016 is the copyright on here, so I'm gonna assume 16. But yeah, they did a fantastic job. They captured this using a Model 1 high definition audio for the Genesis. This is off of the sound chip of the Genesis for the tracks. It basically is a combination of two different soundtracks. The Snatcher Zoom tracks, which is the more recorded Red Book audio tracks that are on the CD. And the other, just the soundtrack ripped from the Genesis. So, all the famouses like Danger Dance, Outside the Facility, stuff of that nature, Junker HQ, all those famous jingles and the songs are all on here. It's a great soundtrack. It's a double-sided 33.5 RPM record. So a little bit. All right. This is not. Like I said, this is, I can't remember, I think this might have been a first press of it. I know I got it. The thing I liked the most about it, actually, I think I have the paper when I bought this, too. Yeah, I have the receipt in here still, yeah. Let's see here. I'm not going to dox myself, this is actually my old house. Order date, 12/1/2016 is when I ordered this, so it did indeed come in, I think that's when I ordered it and released on 17, I believe. But anyways, it's really cool because it not only comes with that, but it came with these cool double-sided poster things of the characters Gillian Seed, Random Hajil, and you turn around, you get the Saturn art cover of what they put out for the Saturn is this art right here, and then of course have on the back another Gillian Seed. So if you need Gillian Seed, then it has what you need to be the Gillian Seed. But this game actually originally came out in English, unlike another title we'll be looking at that's also on the Saturn, which you could probably take a guess what I'm going to be talking about in regards to another game that hasn't been released in English that has a soundtrack. But yeah, this is actually frame-worthy. I love the art on this thing. Really great art. I'm going to put it back there for a little bit while I spin it. It's kind of hard to see, but just pin it's back there. But I think that's enough talk. Why don't we go and listen to that? I'm going to be playing my favorite track on it, One Night in Yokobai City, this actually is the second technically theme of it. The first one was Twilight in Yokobai City, which was off of the first game on the MSX and stuff, and then when it got ported to the PC Engine and the Mega CD, they used of course One Night in Yokobai City. So let me go launch that up and let's listen to some of it. Let's go. away. It's gonna be cut from the audio one, of course. It's just gonna be me putting this away while I do this. So, just pretend this is cut. I'm gonna cut this from the actual. Right here. I put that away while I'm taking this. Okay. Another thing for you watchers of the live show, oh, my butt's in the way. It actually is you switch the speed, you actually have to move the belt. So I have to actually switch the belt up here and move it to the top one for 33.5 RPM. It's kind of bulky, but I mean it's kind of annoying to do, but I mean you gotta do what you gotta do. So second track, line that up. And that was One Night in Kobe City by the Konami sound team, or was it Kokia, whatever sound team? I forgot the name of it exactly. But yeah, it's a great sounding record. I love the company that does it. and I just love the game in general. It's a fantastic game. I also want to shout out to Shadow Master, who's working on the Snatcher English test, trying to get the Snatcher English stuff inside of the Saturn version of it. So let me go flip that and get the other one ready real quick, so I'll be right back. Okay, just turn that off. Luckily for us, I don't think I need to put on a 45 until the last song, so that's the last one I'm gonna probably do in the 45 for a while, or maybe even the whole stream. We'll see how long this goes. But the next album I want to take a look at is something that I guess technically is a cheating soundtrack, but I'll still count it. Is there anything in here? So I'll make sure nothing pops up when I pick it up. The Resurrection soundtrack by Shiori Kobayashi, for Panzer Dragoon Saga. So it's the vinyl soundtrack for the 25th anniversary of the soundtrack. I think this came out in, I think it was like 2018 or 19, I think. It's been a little while, but this really cool soundtrack. Brave Wave did this one. This was actually a really cool release that they did. It is the soundtrack to, of course, and they have Panzer Dragoon Saga, and the Azil RPG is like right here in the corner. It's kind of hard to see. Essentially, it is a fantastic soundtrack and a reimagining of the original Saturn soundtrack, which I think is really cool. This record is really cool. Let's show up the last one. It is actually a really cool 2 LP purple design. So I'll get the record out. We're not gonna put it on yet though. It's like this cool purpley record thing. I think I have photos of it. It's kind of hard to see right here. I touched it with my hands. It's gonna be ruined now. Soundtrack ruined. Confirmed for Garbage Human Being Patrick. But yeah, on top of the amazing soundtrack and stuff, it also comes with this really, really neat booklet. Actually, I think even some copies of this actually came with a little signed card by Shiori Kobayashi. This is a really cool art book of all the cool stuff from the series. I think they have the same thing on the CD release of this as well, but it's not as big and cool, so you can't like clip it up. And it's got some artwork, got some lyric sheets in here. I think it has some, it has the lyrics in Panzer language, Japanese, and in English for the Sonami Ari Exantio, whatever that's called, and a few other of the songs in here. But yeah, it has a cool little foreword by James Melky, whatever his name is. I don't know who that is. So, he's from Tigertron or something like that. I'm not really sure. But yeah, it comes with a really cool booklet. I think it's a really cool sounding soundtrack. Yeah, I'm going to be listening to the first opening track on it, not because I'm lazy, but all the opening tracks seem to be really good on these albums. So why don't I take Snatcher off the turntable, and let's go listen to some Panzer Dragoon Saga, guys. Let's do this. Alright, and that was the opening track to Panzer Dragoon Saga. Or, I forgot the exact name of the titles. Let me go look at that real quick while it pauses. The title of that was, I don't know, because, okay, it's called Esse Valde Generous Ale, or Mark the Precious Wings. I believe that's the opening track to Panzer Dragoon Saga. So, really good opening track. I really enjoyed it. I think it's really fitting in the series, and I really enjoyed the first one as well, for the first Panzer Dragoon game. So there's a lot of really great soundtrack, great vinyl pressing. I think they pressed this on black vinyl. I don't think they have colored anymore for this, but I think you can still pick this up. The other one, Panzer Dragoon Saga, you can't. I know that they're doing another repress. Actually, I think they did a repress of Panzer Dragoon, the first one, and I think they're doing a repress of Snatcher, so I forgot to mention that beforehand. So if you guys want to go pick that up, you can try and pick that up, and it's also third hand. Or second hand, third hand, how many ever hands people have. But I don't think it's that expensive for these three titles specifically. At least I don't remember them. There might be if you want to get them like brand new, but I don't know. Alright, so the next one, this technically is another one of the cheat titles that we're going to be doing because of the way that this was released, and that's going to be the Resident Evil 1 soundtrack. So, this was originally released by Laced Records, I think in 19, I believe, is when this one was released. It's a really nice record. I really enjoy the layout, the Obi strip. It's got some cool info on it. It's got this cool little Capcom thing on the back going on here. But it's a really cool record. It's a gatefold record. Oh, I have to take the Obi off to open up the gatefold. Yeah, I have not opened up the gatefold, so I'll take this Obi off. Hopefully I don't rip it. If I do, I'm going to charge Martin specifically for ripping it, so... so here's the gatefold of it. You can see the opening of it. As you could probably guess by the art on there, this is the soundtrack actually to the remake of Resident Evil 1. So this is the remake soundtrack, sadly. For some reason, when they pressed it, they decided to go with the soundtrack for the remake and not the original, which I mean, I kind of get, and I kind of understand. But it's also kind of a sadness at the same time, if you think about it, because I think the RE1 soundtrack had some bomb hits. It had some bomb tracks. I know that people, I know they didn't have the exact same soundtrack on this one. So it's kind of a sadness to me. But yeah, Lace Records did a great quality record. They had a cool colored one. They had black vinyl. I just went with the black one because I just like the basic. You can't really mess it up. So with black vinyl that much, but people seem to mess it up. I'm not really the biggest fan of colored records, so I kind of prefer the standard black color, so it doesn't mess anything up. But I don't judge anybody that doesn't. That's just my personal taste and preferences for it. You guys can get them any rainbow vomit color you guys want. But this one, we're going to be playing the safe theme because it's pretty much the same song that was in the original as well, and the closest we can get. So, and it's a really great safe theme. I really enjoy it. So let me actually go put that on, and we'll listen into some Resident Evil 1 save theme, technically the remake, but we'll just say it's the original and call it a day, so we don't have to trouble anybody with that. that was the Resident Evil 1 save theme. So it's a really great theme. I really love Resident Evil 1. It means a lot to me because I'm a big Resident Evil fan, and I played the hell of that game on the PS1 and the remake on the GameCube and other systems, whatever it was on. So I'm going to stop that real quick. Tip, that was a fantastic soundtrack. Sorry about the bump earlier. I actually bumped the table when I was moving some of the stuff over, so if you heard some bumps and some drop-ins and stuff, that was me bumping out the records. So that's on me. Great soundtrack. Love the Resident Evil soundtracks. I think 2 is my favorite, but 1 has a special place in my heart. But yeah, why don't we move on to the next entry, which is another cheat one. I didn't really mean it to be in a row, but it's just like what popped up next. All right, so the next one we have is another data disc title. And it's their number 2 title, so if you know what number 2 is in the title, not poop, then you definitely know what this one's going to be, and that is the Shenmue soundtrack on vinyl. This is the second release of data disc after Streets of Rage. This particular copy is a repress. I think it's the second repress they did of it. But it's a really cool soundtrack. It's got the cool obi on it. Got the cool... Oh, it just flew off. Cool back on it with the composer and the music information. This is composed by Takanobu Mitsuyoshi and a few other people on there. I didn't want to butcher all their names, but you probably could look it up and probably would know better than I do all about it. But the soundtrack actually... I really learned mostly about it from Adam Korlick in his videos because he used the first soundtrack as the opening soundtrack as his credits in the video, or his opening. I can't remember which one it was. It was credits, yeah. But I played Shenmue and I really enjoyed it, and it's probably one of my favorite Dreamcast games. And this one soundtrack, they went all out on it. Like, it's a matte color, and then if you touch the letters, you can actually feel like lamination in it if you run your fingers across the letters of Shenmue. Beautiful, beautiful cover art. Probably one of my favorite looking records because honestly I really like the cover art of the game itself. So blown up this big is really beautiful looking. You can tell that they spared no expense. This is no like copy and paste job they did. So see, they get the full archives, got the art, or maybe they even recreated, I don't know. It's on my head, but this was dropped in, I think 15 is when they dropped this. The repress I bought was in 16 or 17, I think. This came on blue vinyl, and along with the other one, also come with this cool art card of this that you can put in a poster and put on your wall if you like Shenmue. Really beautiful art. It's just blank on the other side, so there's definitely nothing. Really great soundtrack. I would highly recommend listening to if you do. I think they also did a repress of this because of some of the Shenmue news coming out and some of the remastering on Steam. Some other stuff. Oh man, it came off again. There's also an anime now, so I think they also repressed it for that. The obi also flies off for no apparent reason, so if you guys like the obi, make sure it doesn't fly off like I do, but I'm swinging this around, so without further ado, let me play the first opening track of Shenmue, which is it's just called Shenmue Sedge Tree, which I think is really beautiful track. So let me go turn it on and let's listen to some Shenmue. And that was the opening track to Shenmue. So, yeah, it's a really great soundtrack. Probably one of my favorites in video game. It's very relaxing, great to fall asleep to and mellow out to. It's a very Japanese-esque feeling soundtrack, and which I really like. I know a lot of soundtracks try to be, different genres of music, and I think Shenmue just wanted to be itself, and that's why I think it's a fantastic soundtrack. And if you own it on vinyl, I definitely recommend picking it up. And I forgot to mention, but one of the reasons why I did put it on this list is because technically Shenmue started out as a Saturn game, Virtua Fighter RPG, Akira's side story. So because of that, I just counted it because technically it was on the Saturn in one form or another, and I wanted to play it because it's a fantastic soundtrack. And I think no matter what we think here, I think that's an undisputable fact that the soundtrack is amazing. I think that's a good agreement right there. But yeah, so let's move on to the next one, which is going to be a bit unconventional in some ways for me. So the next soundtrack we got here, this was a interesting release. This is Battle Garegga, revision 2016 on vinyl. So this one is a interesting title in the fact that it actually you could not buy this as a individual vinyl. You had to get the special edition of Battle Garegga for the PS4 on by Limited Run Games. So they had it in the record deal, so you had to buy the $150 collector's edition of it. So this is a really interesting soundtrack. I'll probably have to play both the opening and the one I want to play. It's really cool gatefold. There's not a lot of pressing info on this. Limited Run Games, I think they just pressed it themselves. I don't think there exactly was a pressing company that worked on this. And it's pretty bare bones. Like, it comes with these... Like, this is a kind of a... I wouldn't say disappointing record, but it kind of was kind of cheap in a way. Like, how do you pull this out? Like, these are... This came with these paper line ones that you'd probably see with usually records from back in the day. It's very flimsy, very rough on the vinyl. It scruffs very easily. So it's definitely not my favorite outer sleeve that they come with the stuff. So I instantly replaced this. And Limited Run Games is really known for like the pressing quality and stuff. Sadly, with what they press, like I can't actually find any info on this, whether it was done by Limited Games or another company. I'm just going to assume Limited Run Games based off of it. But I don't think that I listened to this before, so this might be the first time I'm listening to this. So. Yeah, it's a pretty good game. Wasn't the biggest fan when I first played this game because I thought it was just a generic shoot 'em up, and you know what? Sometimes that's not a bad thing. I've really grown to love this game. It's very, very, I wouldn't say basic. It's very straightforward and a classic shmup like in 1941 vein. But yeah, it's just amazing, and I really enjoy it now. It's probably one of my favorite shmups just because it's very down to earth, basic, great soundtrack. Yeah, so why don't we go put this on and do the opening, and I think the credits start in 4:71 a.m. and let's check it out. This is Battle Garegga. And that was the opening title, the theme, and I believe the first stage of Battle Garegga. So yeah, that was it's I also forgot to mention that it came on this really cool tri-colored clear vinyl record. It kind of reminds you sort of a bullet hell. It's like hopefully it's easy to see on camera, but it's this cool like design that's like it's semi-clear, I guess, semi-transparent. This cool red design, like sort of bullet hell. I'm actually kind of disappointed listening to that because I couldn't realize how much surface noise is on that record itself. I don't know if you guys heard it yourselves, but it was very, very noisy, lots of noise on that, which is a bit of a disappointment for me because I think the soundtrack is amazing and deserves a lot better. So, like I said, some of the record companies that come up with these records, it's kind of hit and miss for some of them, but some of them are really good. Like if you had to pick some data disc, Ship to Shore, Phono Company, really great. Two off the top of my head. Laced is really good. Usually it's a minority. Ones that I probably would stay away from are like I Am 8-Bit or just some random stuff from limited games, because a lot of these companies just get what they can find for the pressing plants and whatever they can do the cheapest and go with that. So it's a bit of a disappointment, really, but I mean, it makes sense in the long run because a lot of people probably don't even listen to a lot of these ones and just use them as collectibles or keep them in the limited edition. So, but yeah, honestly, even with that surface noise, I didn't really hear it much when I was playing it, so it's not too awful, but you know, what you gonna do? So why don't we move on to the next one, which is a bit unconventional. It's an interesting story too. So this is I'll have to show like two parts of this because like two different parts of it because it's a picture disc. So this is the Mega Man soundtrack on vinyl, Mega Man 1 through 10, the best of. I think this was the first video game soundtrack I picked up new. You know what I'm saying? It's like a two-parter because I have to put it because it comes in this really crappy polyline bag. They never come in anything protective. It's like just like this little chintzy bag that just scruffs it up and is really rough, but has the cool Mega Man logo right there. So it's kind of fitting because we played it yesterday. I'll take it out of the package because it's just like a picture disc. Yeah, this one comes with the best of Mega Man 1 through 10. It has stuff like Select Stage from Mega Man 1, Cutman, Lekman, Metal Man. In terms of Mega Man 8, which is the one we're gonna talk about, is gonna be Tengu Man. So it's this is by Space Lab 9. I think this dropped in 14 or 15. I remember I saw this, somebody posted on Reddit, like the video game, like a vinyl thing, and I was like, whoa, what the heck, Mega Man's on vinyl? And apparently, yeah, they sold it at Hot Topic, so I called every Hot Topic in town and hunted the sucker down until I found it. And luckily, one of them had it, and I was extremely happy because I loved the Mega Man soundtrack. And I see that don't know, picture discs aren't known for their quality and their noise, their audio fidelity. It's a really good record, though. I think it sounds decent. At least I think so. I'm a big fan of Mega Man 8 soundtrack. It's probably one of my favorite Mega Man game soundtracks, but I just really think it's cool. But in honesty, I don't count it for X, because if it's like Mega Man for X and all the above, Mega Man X4 and 5 are the best soundtracks. Sorry, that's how it works, I guess. But I guess why don't we without further ado, we're going to play some Mega Man 8. That what stage was it? Sorry, I'm not well versed in the stage names. I just know them as funky tracks. This is the Tengu Man stage. So let me go put Tengu Man on and listen to some awesomeness of the soundtrack. All right, and that was Tengu Man stage from Mega Man 8. Sorry about that before. When I guess this is going to be cut for people that don't listen to it, but the track before it was Cloudman stage from Mega Man X7. It's kind of hard to track it because it was between tracks to get that, so I started that a little bit early. So whoever really liked Cloudman stage, you got a little bit of that. So lucky you for early players, but early watchers. So yeah, I really enjoy Mega Man's 8 soundtrack. I really kind of wish they do a full vinyl release. I know they did like a Mega Man box set, but I think even then they only had a couple select tracks from Mega Man 8, which I think is one of my favorite ones, at least soundtrack wise. But Mega Man 7 soundtrack is also a bomb. Definitely people agree with me in the chat. Get a thumbs up for that. Mega Man 7. But yeah, overall good soundtrack. The quality is okay. For a picture disc, it's pretty decent. Usually it's not really that great quality. As you heard some sound noise when it, or some groove noise when it went over it, because it's not really meant to really listen to for long periods of time and really be a listening medium. It's like a plastic layer over the grooves compared to the vinyl itself. So somebody could probably explain it a little bit better, but I'm just doing the best I can with what I have. But yeah, let's move on. The next soundtrack, people were going to be like, of course you have this one, of course. And that is, of course, who would have guessed it, Policenauts on the Saturn. I guess the soundtrack is PSX as well. This is probably one of my favorite soundtracks of all time, next to Snatcher, of course. This is a really interesting game. It's another Hideo Kojima game. This was pressed again by Data Discs. They did this one. Ship to Shore Phono Company did Snatcher. This is their 17th release. And the funny thing about that is that this game never had a US release. This is a Japanese only. There's no dub, no sub of English for this game besides fan translation. So a lot of people's experience of this game in the West, at least playing it, was of course the fan translations, which, I mean, let's be honest, that's where most people played it and experienced the game, unless people watch some weird Let's Play or whatever of it. But this has beautiful art. I believe it's by the guy that did the Snatcher as well. Got some beautiful art prints. This is another one of those giant flaps instead of a gatefold. I guess it does save money, but you know, it's is what it is. This is the regular black edition. I also have the vinyl, or the what is it? The limited edition color with the splatter. It's just regular black vinyl for listening, but I have that one sealed. But this one is really intense. It comes not only with this cool poster thing you can put in a sleeve for a vinyl record, but it also comes in this nice booklet. It's kind of hard to see, but you can see like it's like these shiny reflective things on there. But yeah, it's a picture, an art book. It's like a condensed version of the Saturn art book, if you think about it that way. So it's got some great art on it. I really wish they had the one picture that they used for the US demo for Policenauts, like the Policenauts vehicle, the thing right there on the side. So they used that, but they didn't. But yeah, this is sort of it kind of matches the Saturn limited edition, which is over there. I don't want to hunt it down, so just look it up if you want to know. It's a really cool booklet, really cool edition of the game, or the soundtrack. So I think these are out of print, and I don't think they're printed again for such a limited thing. Sadly, so the best way to listen to it is probably get it secondhand. Hopefully it's not going to be too expensive for you guys. I think maybe $50 is what I was seeing it at. 60 maybe if you're unlucky like me. But yeah, we are going to be listening to the opening theme, A2, opening title, Ode LA 2040. Which I think is one of my favorite songs, besides the Policenauts theme at the end. They said Legendary Face is going to be right there. Great artwork at the titles in English. So yeah, is there anything else that came with this? There's something else in there. Oh, they're just stickers. No, I came with stickers, yeah. But yeah, without further ado, let's listen to some Policenauts. And that was the opening theme, Old LA, opening theme of Policenauts. That actually probably has to be one of my favorite opening tracks for a game. It's definitely the longest. If you see on the record, you could see like the grooves. The first one, Legendary Faces, is so short, and the other one's like super long, and the rest of the record is like different lengths of 3 minutes. It's like a 7-minute song almost. So, yeah, that was a long one. So thanks for bearing with that. But it's still a great song. I love every minute of it. It's like a adventure, like a little like sort of adventure story, kind of like some of those old Microsoft meaties back in the day, if you guys know what I'm talking about. But yeah, thank you Hideo Kojima for doing that. Thank you for everyone translating that game. Thank you for Davis for releasing on the soundtrack on vinyl, because it's a fantastic one and great one. I think I have pictures of this also on my Instagram. You could probably check that out. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know this. Unfortunately, they don't use it as an OP in the console ports, just Into the Dark. Okay, I did not know that. Interesting. Yeah, I guess for some of them they don't. I know it's on Saturn though for sure. But yeah, it definitely is, like Shama says, it instantly transports you to the world of Policenauts, which I definitely agree about it. It definitely puts you in the theme, and imagine you sitting in a dark, dingy office smoking a cigarette, waiting for your next client to cancel you. But yeah, it's great theme, great game. If you haven't played it, go download the fan translation anywhere and patch it. PSX or Saturn, you can't go wrong. If you want to play it at PC98 in Japanese, go ahead and do that too. I'm not going to judge you. Okay, maybe judge you a little bit. Oh, also forgot the thing. Oh, it doesn't matter. But anyways, why don't we talk about our next game on the docket? I think we have a couple more left. I think we have a couple others in there. We might say that for another time. But this is going to be, I think we're going to do 2 or 3 more. We'll see. I'll see what I'm like. But this is the next one, another data disc release. Radiant Silvergun, or Radiant Silvergun, if you're as awful British. This is a fantastic shooter by Treasure. Oh crap, that hit me in the face. Fantastic game by Treasure. Basically, if you guys don't know this game and you're watching this podcast, what are you doing? Go pause this video, go watch gameplay of Radiant Silvergun, listen to the soundtrack, and then come back. It's a fantastic soundtrack. Such great songs on it. Great titles. The detail, attention to detail in this is amazing. Like I said, Datadiscs is awesome when it comes to doing this stuff. Very high quality stuff. It also comes with 2 pictures as well. I think the special edition came with more. I could be wrong. I usually am. I'm known for being wrong. So when I'm wrong, I admit. But yeah, they come with this. Oh no, it comes with 2 things. It comes with this cool Radiant Silvergun like album art, like the other 3 did that we showed off, and then this giant. I guess I wouldn't say giant. It's probably like a B3 or B2 poster of Radiant Silvergun. Beautiful poster. Yeah, great soundtrack. The song that we will be listening to is the Stone Like, which is the amazing boss battle theme that you play at the very end of the game. It probably is one of my favorite themes. Not a lot of people listen to it because you can't get to that part of the game, but if you're like me and you cheat, or you go to an arcade and slam the quarter button really hard, you can be able to have the privilege to listen to the Stone Like. So, there's actually 2 sets of it. There's original compositions and then console version. So I don't think Stone Like is on the arcade, but I could have sworn I heard Stone Like on the arcade when I played it. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know, guys. Just say you're wrong in the chat in big capital letters. Let me know. But yeah, without further ado, why don't we go ahead and play some Stone Like on probably the greatest shmup ever invented. Maybe not. Let's not be that dramatic, but still really good shmup. Let's go and listen. And that was the Stone Lake from Radiant Silvergun. So that was a fantastic soundtrack. I really enjoy Radiant Silvergun. Probably one of my favorite shmups on the Saturn. Not a lot of people hear the in-game boss, so I'm happy when people are able to listen and check it out. So yeah. That's pretty much all I gotta say about that. Record's really good again. It's a black vinyl by Data Discs. Highly recommend picking it up if you can. I think they might have done a repress of it recently. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, like I said, it's a great soundtrack. Love that title. Great boss battle. If you ever play it, you know what I'm talking about, and hopefully you've experienced that boss battle too. Alrighty, so we're gonna move on to our next one. I think it's probably gonna be our second to last one, or maybe our third to last one. I don't know yet. We'll see. But this is a very, very famous soundtrack. That's if I left it off, I would get very angry messages. But it's going to be Castlevania Symphony of the Night or Castlevania Nocturne of the Moonlight on Saturn. So this one, actually, the cool thing about this one is it actually has the Saturn bonus tracks on here. I don't know if you can see. It's kind of hard to see. It's the Saturn bonus tracks right there. And these are all the tracks. So it has the Vampire Killer remix 1 and 2, Bloody Tears remix 1 and 2, and then Beginning remix 1 and 2, and that's in the Saturn areas. This one's really cool. This one is by Mondo, which I have a love or hate with them. Relationship with them. I like this. I like some of the soundtracks. They're okay, but they do this thing where they redo the art. And I just want to hear some opinions. Do you guys think the art they did this on is good compared to what we got on the Saturn? Like, I mean, I think the art's pretty good, but honestly, I kind of wish they would have just stayed with the art that the original artist did. And there's the inside gatefold of Richter and Maria. Really cool. This did not, unfortunately, come with bonuses. I believe I'm gonna put the. I usually keep the OB on just because it's a cool design. I don't really take the record out itself. But yeah, this one's also teasing in 2070 Rondo of Blood and Dracula X. I think the other one also the Rondo of Blood one did tease Metal Gear, which originally came out a little bit later, but it got the original artwork's by Jasmine Darnell, which I don't think the art's ugly, but I kind of really wish they would have went with Ayami Kojima's artwork, like Blue Moon said. It's a pretty nice record. I believe it was like a blood red one. I gave this one to Dave for Christmas one year. I believe he did a video showing that off, or at least did a YouTube clip of it. I don't know where that is. It's somewhere on the internet. But yeah, the record is alright sounding. The song we're going to be listening to, though, is going to be probably one of my favorite ones, Dance of Illusions. So this is probably my favorite theme. At least I hope it's the right one I play. If not, I'll jump to the other one and I'll correct myself. But yeah, it's a really good one. There's a lot of really bangers on here. Marlborough Gallery, Dracula's Castle, Dance of Gold. A lot of really good bangers on here. Fantastic soundtrack, Metamorphosis. But yeah, let me go play Dance of Illusions for you guys and sit back and enjoy. And that was Dance of Illusions from Symphony of the Night / Nocturne of the Moonlight. Really great soundtrack. Probably one of my favorite Castlevania soundtracks of all time, next to Rondo, of course. But yeah, I think that sold out, sadly. I said I want to show off one cool thing I forgot to show off that I didn't mention, but this came on like a blood red vinyl. It's a really cool, like, solid red color. It's very beautiful looking. I kind of like it. I'm not a big fan of like colored records per se, but I really like the cool blood effect on there and like the cool looking red. It's like nice and bright red, so it's really a cool looking record. I would highly recommend picking up if you can. I'm not gonna play the air organ, but yeah, I think it's a great soundtrack. I think if you have not listened to the soundtrack or played Castlevania Symphony of the Night, I think you need to, as it's probably the only game I really played probably 7 or 8 times next to Resident Evil 2. It's a great game. Highly recommend playing it if you haven't, and highly recommend getting the soundtrack if you don't have it, either vinyl or CD or wherever you can find it, with dubious results. Alrighty, so we're getting to the closer. Let's see here. Let's see what we got. Okay, this is going to be our second to last record. The next one's going to be a cool little treat for people that know me and know my hobbies and what I like. This is the it's going to be the Grandia soundtrack, Grandia Memorial soundtrack on vinyl. This is, of course, everyone knows it mostly for the PS1 game, but of course we're all familiar here with the amazing translation that Trekkies Unite 118 did and his amazing team to translate Grandia into English, and it was a fantastic effort. And this company, what was the name of it? Wayo Records, and I think it was 19, decided to put out the soundtrack. Oh, for a second I thought there's a hole in there, but no, it's because her hair is green. That's why. I was like, why is there a hole in there? Was there something I'm missing, like a little see-through hole look through her hair or something like that? But yeah, it's a really cool record. It came in a box set, but I didn't want to haul the box set out of the closet. It comes in a nice it was like a 3 LP record set. I believe you could still buy it from Wayo Records if you want. It's really, really, really good sounding, and it's amazing. They did a really fantastic job. Wayo's also done the what was it? The Skies of Arcadia soundtrack as well, and a few other nice classic soundtracks. So if you haven't picked that one up, highly recommend it. I think this one just came in paper sleeves, just these sleeves right here, so it wasn't the best holding of it. Or I could be wrong. I might be wrong, but yeah, great. Oh yeah, no, it did come in the paper polyline. Oh no, these ones are just black, so these ones are okay for the quality of it. I replaced it, of course, with the mobile fidelity. Come on, it came in like this. It's called Saturn Green. So it's kind of a clever little nod. And you can't see, it looks like it's in green, but it looks like a CD. It looks like a laser disc. It looks like a laser. It's transparent. Like, I can't go through there, but it's transparent here, but it is a green disc. Like, it's pretty much as green as the background that's in this. So, I wish I could show that off, but just trust me, Saturn Green, look it up if you really want to see it. But yeah, I'm going to be playing the intro, which I've probably heard a bajillion times because of my life in gaming, and also because I've played the game so much and testing it out. So let's play the opening theme to Grandia. Hopefully you guys enjoy, and then we got one more after this, and yep, let's go listen to Grandia opening theme. And that is the... Oh, that's a good timing on my alarm. That is the Grandia sound. Sorry, I'll restart that. That is the opening theme to Grandia. From, of course, Grandia. Yep, so great theme. I really enjoy it. Like I said, every time I hear it, I think of my life in gaming. And I just like in the back that it looks like a CD's on the table, but it's really just green because of the transparency effect and stuff. But yeah, great soundtrack. I think they still sell it new, I think. So you can probably pick it up on their website if you want. Alright, so the last soundtrack is going to be an interesting one because it's kind of not really what it's going to be. So this is going to be the Jetsons. We're going to be listening to the famous Hard Times. So hopefully whoever can guess why we're listening to Hard Times by the Jetsons in the chat will get a high five and shout out from me if you could tell me before I finish explaining why. So for those that don't know, the Jetsons are a band from Arizona, Tempe, Arizona, who is funded by the famous Brad Buxor. Yes, Cerulean got it. Basically, what happened is that he wrote a song for the band the Jetsons called "Hard Times," which he ended up not using for their debut album here, the little LP right here that the Jetsons, their thing. It's called Made in Japan, their LP. You can pick it up at any record store that's used because it's not new and in print. But he ended up scrapping that, and it went into the archive for years. And I think in 11 or something, or 7, they released a compilation called The Complete Jetsons that had this song on it called Hard Times. And for the longest time, people listened. It was like, wait, is that Ice Cap Zone? And yes, it is indeed the basis for the song Ice Cap Zone from Sonic 3, which I believe is on the Sonic Jam collection. If I'm wrong, let me know in the chat. If I'm not, let me know. I'm deserved to be made fun of. But essentially, he scrapped it and used it for this one. And a lot of people thought it was supposed to be Who Is It? But I think they only used Brad, who also worked on both of those songs, used the chord progression. So for those that don't know, it wasn't a Michael Jackson song. Brad Buxor also did the soundtrack to Sonic 3. And one of the songs he did create right for it was, or use in it, was Hard Times from his old band, the Jetsons. So... yeah, so we are going to be listening to the original Ice Cap Zone, or what it was supposed to be. And there's some variations, but it's pretty much Ice Cap Zone if you listen to it. This is probably going to get copyright striked, so RIP this video. RIP if this gets copyright striked on podcast. So it's going to be a single. It's going to be a little bit of startup to get it going, so I have to change the belt out and change it. But yep, this is going to be the Jetsons' Hard Times, aka Ice Cap Zone, from Sonic 3. And that was Hard Times by the Jetsons, a Ice Cap Zone from Sonic 3. So, I actually forgot to tell the backstory of this record, so I want to go do that right now. So basically what happened was, I think around 2020, Brad got the okay, and the company got the okay to release Hard Times as a single on vinyl, by I think it's Hello Merch and the company that I think supports him. I can't remember what the name of his record company was with them, but it's a cool single. Hello Merch from. I actually forgot what his record label was called. I think it was like some weird name. But yeah, they released this on little 45 as Hard Times, and When the Sun Comes Down as a B-side. Really cool record. I'm glad that they acknowledged the use of it, and I guess what's the word I could use to make it not sound like really bad? They took their time and like sort of ran with the fame of it, which I'm really excited for because I love capitalistic records where they can do something cool and make money and make people happy. So this is now sold on their website. I don't think it's that expensive if you want to buy it secondhand, but I could be wrong. The funny thing is when I ordered this, I noticed when I was ordering it that I could pick it up, and it's like, wait, what? Because the record label, like we're saying, the Jetsons are a Tucson band or a Tempe, Arizona band. It is right down the road from me, so I was like, yes, I will pick this up in person. And went to the record label and picked it up. And I can't get the sleeve back in this thing. I'll do it later. But yeah, I thought it was really cool. And I picked it up from there. It was during the pandemic, so I had to wear a mask and stuff. But yeah, great record. It's on Discogs. Just look up Jetsons. Jetsons also an amazing band. Check out their Complete Jetsons on like iTunes and stuff. Fantastic, amazing band. Probably one of my favorite bands. That I really recently discovered. An 80s band disbanded sadly, but fantastic band, fantastic music. If you haven't listened to it, go listen to it right now. Stop the podcast, go look up the Jetsons, and give them your money because they deserve it because they're awesome. All right, so you might be thinking, oh man, Patrick, I would have really loved to hear what Ice Cap Zone sounds like because I don't really remember. Maybe it didn't sound the same, but you might be thinking, oh, well, I guess it's over now. You don't have Ice Cap Zone. But no, I do. I got Sonic the Hedgehog 3 on vinyl, baby. Yeah. This is, of course, a bootleg by Moonshake Records. I bought this years ago. But yeah, this is a Sonic Hedgehog 3. The label's famous for doing, like, parody record labels. So they, of course, did Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. Thriller, I'm stupid. Did Thriller. The album, so there's the cover with Sonic, and then this weirdly inside one that's kind of weird. This kind of made me feel uncomfortable a bit. I don't know, maybe anybody else, but anyways, Sonic 3, the last one we'll be doing. This one is by a record label. Like I said, titled Moonshake. This one's on a blue vinyl color, of course, for Sonic, for Mr. Sanic. I bought this a couple years ago with the Metal Gear Solid 1 bootleg. That one, they released the Metal Gear Solid officially, so of course I bought both of them, so have that. This one, of course, is a bootleg. It's no longer in print. I think it's not too bad on the secondhand market. You might be able to get it fairly cheap, unless I'm wrong, in which case make fun of me again for it. But yeah, I just wanted to show it off and show you what Ice Cap Zone sounded like in case you forgot. And just a little sort of closing out. So we're going to close out this cast or the stream with Ice Cap Zone on vinyl. So let's go and listen to that now. Right, and that was Ice Cap Zone from Sonic 3. So yeah, that I think that's about wraps up what we can for our show. Almost the 2-hour mark. I didn't realize there was going to be that many records. I still have stuff we haven't hit yet, so might have to do a part 2, or what do you guys think? Maybe Sega on vinyl, maybe? More Sega stuff? All-time Sega, maybe just like the best of Sega? I don't know. But yeah, I thought this was a fun show. I kind of been wanting to do it for a while because I've been a big music guy and a big fan of Saturn, so thought I'd mix it up together, especially with vinyl. Everything you've heard on here is all directly from a turntable, as you can see back there. All directly ripped from the output of my receiver into the line in. Probably not the best sound quality ever, but I mean, it worked for what I needed to do. But yeah, hopefully you guys had a nice taste of it. This will be going out as a podcast along with this being a show. I think I'm going to make this an episode as well. I'm probably going to like censor out some things and re-record something, because I know I bumped the turntable a couple times, so we'll see. Yeah, so I think that's about does it. Before we go, I need to shout out our Patreon supporters. So going down, we got Emerald Nova, Johannes Fetz, Blue Moon 95, Derek aka Team, Momphis, Nutrageous, Tuniki Trev, and Young Money Sawee. And if you want to be shouted out on the podcast, if you back us up at the $10 and above premium level, you will be able to get great perks like getting shouted on the show, early content, video exclusivity, and stuff like that, and even a chance to be on the podcast yourself. And if you don't want to back us on Patreon and want to just do like a one-time financial back, you can also check out our t-shirt, our t-shirt shop, our threadless store. That's it. Brain's fried a little bit today. The threadless store. We have a bunch of great SHIRO shirts that you guys would want to wear. SHIRO Show branded stuff. And if you just want to back us financially, or you can't, you can also share us out, like, subscribe, comment, ring the bell so that it knows when we go live and when we create new videos and put out new content. Yeah, I think that's about it from me. That's about it for my musical cast. Hopefully we can do this again. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it and we could do it again next time. So I guess with that, thank you for watching, guys, and remember, you must play Sega Saturn.